All right, welcome back. We're here joined by YMCA to learn about the overnight camp experience. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. Okay, talk a little bit about what the YMCA overnight experience is.
Yes, so we are a Sunday to Friday overnight camp experience out on Lake Washington at Kiwanis Camp Patterson. I am the director out there, and so I oversee all the operations, and I have wonderful campers and staff with me today. So I'm going to let you guys talk about what we do out at camp.
My favorite part is that we get to meet a bunch of new friends, and then we also get to go in the lake and play with them on the, just basically on the canoes and everywhere.
Ooh, canoes? You guys make s'mores? I've always wanted to camp.
Yes, we do. Just with our older campers, we do the s'mores. There's some safety concerns with that many kids being out there, but we do with our older kids.
Awesome.
So.
And what about the canoes? Can you talk a little bit through that?
We have been taught to do just canoe, and then we go out on the lake after we've been taught.
Ooh, fun.
And what's your favorite part?
My favorite is probably hanging out with the new friends that we made and getting to have No Utensil Tuesday.
No utensil Tuesday.
Okay,
Ooh.
I have questions. I need you to explain a little bit more. Do you just eat like a caveman? Is that what that means?
Yeah, we have spaghetti and we get to eat it with no utensils, and you have to use your hands.
Is it also on the table, or do you at least have a bowl?
You have a plate.
Okay, at least you have a
plate.
plate.
Yeah. So can you guys tell us a little bit about when this event is, and if somebody wants to learn about it, how could they do so?
Yeah, so we run 3 weeks in June. It's the last 3 weeks of June, and then the very first week of August as well. I believe the registration is still up on the website at the YMCA, and I mean, we have plenty of spots available still, so kids are more than welcome to keep signing up. First timers are also more than welcome. Our minimum age, I believe, is 8 years old going into 3rd grade. And then we have campers all the way up to 15 and above that do a little bit more leadership work at camp, being either leaders in training or counselors in training, and then even junior counselors as well that will actually be in the cabins if they're old enough to do so.
Yeah. So do a lot of the younger kids work their way up? Is that how you got to where you are? Did you start as a camper?
Yeah, so actually I did start as a camper when I was 8 years old. Wow. So I was going into 3rd grade, and that was my first summer doing it. I did just 1 week of camp, and that was back when we only had 2 different weeks running, one in June and one in August. And I think I did camp for about 4 or 5 years before I did a different camp in Wisconsin that was a little bit longer. I think my parents needed a little bit longer of a break from me. And then about 4 summers ago, I was not expecting to, but one of my friends who was a counselor at the time gave me a call saying they needed one more male counselor. And after that 1 week I did, I fell in love with it again, came back the next summer, the next, and then this is my 4th summer going in there.
So how is the transition? You were once a camper and now you're a counselor. How's the transition then?
It's been super fun, because as a camper you always look up to the counselors and you just wonder, where do they go at night? What are they doing? How does all this stuff get set up? And now being a counselor, being the one setting stuff up, having to do all the behind the scenes work, it's just a whole different experience, and it makes it all fun.
Very
all right, now before we run out of time, I know you guys are eager. I need to know, why did you bring some stuffies with? Is there any particular reason, or just because it's a camp out? Are these your favorite stuffies?
You can buy them when you're going into camp.
So it's kind of like you could buy a souvenir to take home with you.
Yeah.
And is that with the water bottles too?
Yes, and there's stickers. You buy the shirts and then you get a tie-dye them there.
That's pretty cool. So did you guys tie-dye these shirts?
Yes, you can either bring your own white shirt, or you can have the Camp Patterson one that you buy. And when you buy these, you get to keep them for the whole camp, and then you get to bring them home with you.
That's a pretty neat keepsake.
Awesome. And one more time, if people want to find you, where can they do so?
Yes, absolutely. You can get a hold of me or go on to our Mankato YMCA website. We also have scholarships available if funding is an issue, so please reach out. We want every kid to be able to experience camp. So.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us today, and get your camp on.